The new Venezuelan president struck a deal with the CIA. I'm going to tell you how and break it right in front of your face. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why this was all a freaking setup and how you need to understand what's really going on. Now, the new acting president of Venezuela, she got basically put into that position. She was the vice president, but she said with a defiant tone, Maduro is still the president. How dare you take the president? By the way, can we work in a conciliatory way with the United States to build our country? I told you. I told you. I told you. I said this past weekend, I said whoever comes in agreeing with the United States is the person who is connected to the CIA. The CIA hooked this up before they even our troops got on the plane, before Delta Force got on the plane or got on the ship or got on the helicopters to go out there. They already knew. They already knew. She struck a deal with the U.S., y'all, long before this happened. They took Maduro out. She's going to take over probably his billions, and if she doesn't, she's probably going to know where all the money's at. She's going to work deals. She's going to be very, very wealthy. She's after money. She's a lawyer. She's basically the Venezuelan Bondi. She's Venezuelan Bondi. She's after that bag. That's why Bondi is holding tight on the Epstein files. She's after that bag like Bondi. She's the Venezuelan Bondi. And she struck a deal with the CIA. She knows that, and it's not because, they might kill her and they might kidnap her. No, that's what they want you to believe. They struck that deal, and that was all theater this weekend. How dare they take Maduro? Maduro's horrible. By the way, move the furniture over there. How dare they do that? You know what? Give me them bank accounts. How dare they do that? You know, the oil's over here. How dare they do that? Hey, Elon, set up the Starlink. All we need is the Starlink. The game is the game, baby. You just saw some purified game theater this weekend. Boom, one. They make a deal with her, and she also is not the only one. I said there are several people you need to make sure you're clear on when you take over a country. It's telecommunications. Guess what? Elon's coming with Starlink. Their banks, whoever heading the banks already was in on it. Whoever heading the Defense Department was already in on it. You notice they shut down any really real outbreaks. They let some go, but they shut down most of the outbreaks real quick over the whole country in a matter of 48, 72 hours. What else happened? We also know whoever runs the drugs, they were in on it. They know. It's a brand new person. Oh, the drugs are still coming, but they're in on it. Here's the other thing, and that's what I ask people. I say, it's interesting. Who's running the sex trafficking now? Nobody's asked that. Do you know Venezuela is one of the biggest sex trafficking industries? What does sex trafficking have to do with going through Venezuela? Oh, I don't know. Epstein. Well, what does Epstein have to do with going through Venezuela? Because the same people who are in the oil game, the same people who are in the money game. This is not a stretch. This is not conspiracy theory. This is real. These are people, the same lawyers, financiers, personal assistants, luxury assistants, intelligence operative, hello? The same fixers when anything goes wrong anywhere are the same people involved in going in that country. They're going to be the same people involved in going into Cuba. They're going to be the same people involved in going to Colombia and anywhere else they don't like in Central and South America. Whoever speaks and open their mouth the wrong way is going to catch it. Argentina and El Salvador is his friends for now, but everybody else, what's up? It's open territory on their ass. And I'm trying to tell people, as you look at this game, as you see this being delved into, as you see this ugliness go down, I want you to understand the varying things happening. Because not only is the Epstein Society, meaning the money laundering society, the drugs, the guns, the exotic things like babies, selling babies to parents in other countries, artwork, exotic artwork, kidneys and organs, the organs, all of that shit is part of the same network as the sex trafficking. Piece it together. Follow the money. And now that she's come out, well, we can somehow work together. What it looks like to the public is, oh man, she's afraid of her life. So she's trying to get along with Trump. She's trying to capitulate. No. She's basically in on it from go. She head nodded that shit for him to get kidnapped and his wife to get kidnapped. Because if you got rid of the both of them, there's a vacuum of power and it leaves her in power to earn billions. Understand, she's got an account off the Caymans. She's got offshore money. She's got offshore money, guaranteed. She's in power. And all she has to do is play her cards right. Be the head of Venezuela, control the country, make billions of dollars, retire, boom. She's head of a whole country. And she act nice to Trump, everything's gonna go well. She act nice to those business leaders, everything's gonna go well. Because if she was real gangster, from day 2, she'd be like, fuck them business owners, fuck y'all, free Venezuela, fuck you forever. Y'all ain't coming to our country, come here, you going down, fuck y'all. But she didn't do that. And the public is like, well, I guess she got intimidated. No. She was in on this. She was in on this, y'all. She was in on the grift. Do not fall for this. Do not fall for this. The other thing you need to know about this is the next level. What happens next? Well, first of all, Trump's an idiot, as we all know. And it's going to cost America, not the companies, America, billions of dollars to fix those oil companies so the oil can be right for Chevron and all the other companies. The reason they want that oil is there's different types of oil. There's light oil all the way to sludge oil. And Venezuela has the most oil, but they have the most sludge oil. And that is good for Chevron because the price of oil is something that was at high prices, but with this access to this much oil, it brings down the prices, it raises the margins for Chevron, and now oil companies' stocks are going through the roof after this happened. Who benefits from that? Anybody who got in on buying the stock last weekend before the markets closed, and anybody who, there was a person, and everybody's saying it's what's her name? Everybody's saying it's Congress, people who did that. But there's a person who bet $30,000 Friday that Maduro's going under and made $400,000 on the open non SEC markets, like Cauchy and some of these other markets, Poly, whatever, and they made $400,000. There's some game going on. Realize, obviously, it's about money, but be aware that we have a CIA operative, a CIA person who's cooperating with the CIA as president of Venezuela. And Trump's an idiot because he opened his mouth and said, we're running Venezuela. That's what he means. That's what he means. She has cooperated with the CIA long before they came and even took Maduro. That's why she shook her face. This is wrong. This is a horrible thing. And the winner for the Academy Award. Now, what happens after this is what? Again, we spend billions of dollars into this, which is crazy. We spend a ton of money into this. The other thing that happens, which is third, which is there's going to be pulling of their other resources, not only gold and nickel, copper, blah, 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 their resources away. Those companies are coming as well, and they're coming to mow this down. What's also happening behind the scenes, if not already happened, the money that these billion-dollar companies have put into Trump, whether it was campaigns, whether it was meme coins, whether it was the money through the Epstein Society, meaning that the cash that's flying around, there are deals that his family is getting partnered in that we may not know directly, that the news won't report about because they're too damn scared to say anything about Trump. So let's talk about that. So the deals so far around the nation, all of these policies that are going on with Trump with America, somehow the Trump family, directly or indirectly, has partnerships. Let's give an example. Just as, and they're very, very obvious. Barron Trump has deals with crypto companies. Barron, 19-year-old Barron, you know how much he's worth now? Before he's even 20. $150 million. Why? Because when daddy's making a policy change, who's going to find out? But it's not just him. It's his other brothers and sisters. It's all of them who are working together. You know Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner. You know what's been interesting about Jared Kushner? Let's watch what Mom Donnie does, because Jared Kushner was a slum owner. I don't know if he bought out if he sold out his properties or what, but Jared Kushner was a slum owner. And now you got Mom Donnie going after properties. Let's see if he goes after his, if he still owns them. A little bit too much smiles between Mom Donnie and Trump, don't you think? I'm not saying Mom Donnie's in on anything. I'm simply saying that Trump knows that man has the trigger to post on his money, on his family's money, and on his friends' money. Just like he told him, and Trump told MTG, I'm not telling you, I'm redacting the files because my friends might get hurt. Same friends in New York who told him, be cool, don't you upset Mom Donnie. This is all connected. Mom Donnie's not connected to the Epstein files. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that Elon most certainly is. And I don't mean pedophilia. It could be, because you know he's creepy as fuck. But I'm going to say specifically he's connected to the network. The same network that is selling them children are the same networks that are selling guns, selling drugs. And the biggest thing, ain't even the exotic artwork. The biggest thing is the money. They went in there and said, we're going to get some cooperatives. We're going to get a president, new vice president of Venezuela. They probably went to her and said, this is how we know she's cooperating with the CIA. They probably said, how would you like to run Venezuela? I'm just saying, how would you like to run it? Because he's getting kidnapped. It's happening. There's nothing you can do about it. Even if you tell him, we'll catch him anyway, and then we'll come after your ass too. Well, we may not kidnap you. We may just end you. We'll kill you. If she's got children, they'll threaten that. They say, listen, think about your family, your loved ones. Everybody get fucked up. Just let this happen. You be the head of Venezuela. When Venezuela gets, when it happens, you come back and scream the ugliness of our name. And Trump is so stupid, they probably didn't tell him that she was in on it. They let him say what he said, and that president is not blah, 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 and tacked her a little bit. That's being very stupid. And took it over. The next thing that's going to happen is that the opposition lady who won the Nobel Prize, she's going to catch it. They're going to get her. I hope she stays safe. I hope her security's good, but they're going to get her. They're going to get her. Or here's another scenario, because I keep my mind open. Options. They might have told her, you might be president. They might have went to her first. Say, would you like to be president? But then they struck a deal with the vice president, because the vice president was like, hey, no, not so quick. Keep in mind, the vice president, the current leader of Venezuela, was in trouble a couple of years ago over false passports. Not false, but a passport scheme to sell passports to foreigners. And she beat the rap. Don't that sound Trumpish? That sound like somebody Trump would love? So she screamed how much He's blah, 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 blah. Then she says, can we all get along? Because she was in it from go. And then when you look at, again, the banks, when you look at the drugs, when you look at telecommunications, when you look at the defense ministry, okay, when you look at even the sex trafficking, there, who's heading things up as things change over? And it's happening right in front of the people's face. They'll let people scream and shout Maduro. They want them screaming. Here's the weird thing. They want them screaming and shouting Maduro. Maduro is wrong. Yeah, that's right. Work that out. Work that out. Because if they're too busy screaming Maduro, they're not going after the vice president's head. And she's going to go back to her people. Here's what she's going to say. The people who are screaming Maduro. We are trying to work out the building of our country. We have got to do that. It was absolutely wrong what happened. But we have got to find some grounds to build and move forward. We can't get them back. We still have a country to run. You still got to live here, and you still got to move forward. Yes, my Swiss bank account is. You still got to move forward. Move the furniture over there. Yes, the gold chair. I want that over there. You still got to move forward. Game recognized game, y'all. The CIA already worked it out. They already talked it in. And I wondered if maybe the CIA was kind of resisting Trump on this. But now that I've seen her turn around, that was CIA. That was NSA. They were silent. And you notice they said it was the FBI that came to get them. FBI don't do that. FBI don't do that. Why'd they send the FBI? CIA was a little busy. They didn't want to be exposed. But the FBI came and got them. Immediately. And they do what they want to do, don't they? Trump and them. They got them in court already this morning. But they still ain't opened up those files for the Epstein files. Oh, they're getting leaked. I'm telling you. They're getting leaked. They're out there already, but they're officially getting leaked. It's just Garcia, Thomas Massey, and Ro Khanna are going towards the legal manner to go. And I know. We're tired of the legal manner. Just snatch them bitches out, put them out, and snatch that son of a bitch out of office, fuck him forever, and sit them motherfuckers in jail. I know. But if they run the process legally, and this is Jack Smith talking, run the legal process, these people are going to lose. Jack Smith was straight up. He handled everything by the fucking books. They couldn't find nothing. I dare them to go after him. It's going to drop just like Comey and Letitia James. But they're going by the book. So we got Venezuela taking over, the money going on. We got behind the scenes, the Epstein operators in those areas with money and sex trafficking and drugs and guns and everything operating behind the scenes. We got the Venezuelan leader in on it, the new one. We got the other heads of industry in on it. What else do you need to know? Here's the closing, and this is the bombshell. This grifting, not what happened with Venezuela, not what potentially happens with Cuba, not what potentially happens with Colombia, or whatever he does with Mexico or any other country, or at Greenland or whatever. It's the grifting that's going to fuck him. Only reason he wants to fuck with Greenland was over money. Only reason he wants to fuck with Panama was over money. But he stopped talking about Panama when BlackRock got their licenses for Panama. It was a pressure move, just like it was with George Bush coming to get Noriega. But the real thing that'll catch him up is the grifting. His people will go down for the grifting and they'll point towards the president. At least some of them will. Others will be like Bondi and won't say a fucking thing. But she's not in the grifting. I'm trying to tell you is that just like she's going to get quiet about Epstein files, because once she's out of office, or even if she's arrested and out of office, she's going to get made in that society, that same society that took over the money for Venezuela, that took over Venezuela. They're going to love her. Even if she loses her license, she can be a consultant and hire attorneys that are already licensed. You see what I'm saying? It's all a big game. It's all a big game. So everything out of her mouth is from a cooperator with the CIA or NSA or both, our intelligence community. Don't believe the hype. Do not believe the hype. Hey, thank you for watching my video. Make sure you watch more. Watch my next video, please. And if I've earned your subscription, thank you.